It was 2 days before I went into the prayer line, and I vomited. And I was so surprised, which means I'm already healed. The testimony has already come because I'm vomiting the foam that it was causing all the sickness of tightness of chest and all this. Grace and peace to you all. My name is Tiny Dwelonsebe from Botswana, and I'm here to testify the goodness of God and how God has done in my life. The testimony goes like this. I was suffering for a long time with a sickness of asthma and sinus. During that time, I was still young at my tender age, and I was still at primary level. Even though I finished my level, I was not doing well because I was sick. I got some attacks even during the classes when the teacher was still teaching. I feel like I will cough and my chest are so tight so that I have to go out and rest a little bit outside. The tightness of chest is terrible because you could not breathe. You can see how you breathe so hard, and the children in the class are just watching at you that maybe she's dying or what happened to her. Asthma comes when it affects me all the time when it is cold, when it is cloudy, when it is hot. It doesn't comply with any weather. When it is windy, there is too much dust, it affects me so much. For more than 60 years happening that way in my life, I was not able to do my schoolwork. I would suffer like that during school teaching time, and when I was in the class and I finished the school, going back home to stay for some days, 2 weeks, still waiting for my health to come back again as a normal child. And it was not a good time. I was not enjoying my classrooms, and I was not able to do the classroom. I was so frustrated during the time at winter and at rainy season. That was the most time that I got suffered from asthma and sinus. So during that time, I had to go to the hospital, and I was given the treatment. I was using it as a outpatient. I was given the treatment of asthma spray, which was called the inhaler. I continued like that because there was no help during when I was using the inhaler. I went to the secondary school with the same problem, coughing, sinus, all the attacks. So they put me on the treatment of immobilizer. I was now ready to be immobilized.
Sorry, madam, you mean that the doctors gave you a nebulizer to use at the hospital, is that right?
Yes, it is. They immobilized my chest and the tightness of chest so that I won't cough again. It will take some time. It was tough. I was not free at all to do anything as a teenager.
And tell us the type of job that you had and how did this affect your career?
My job that I was doing, I was working in the office as a secretary, and I was still going in and out in the office to go and see the doctor, and it was disturbing my work because I had to finish up my work during the day, but I couldn't because of that, and I worked on like that. That was difficult for me by that time because I was a mother. I go to work. When I come back to work, I take care of my family. I clean the house. I had to see the washing and cook and do all these things. It causes me to have an attack because it was too heavy for me. The chest doesn't even allow me to pick up things that are heavy. So it affected me so much in my home. I had another job as a teacher of small kids. crash to run the pre-primary level schools. And it was still not easy for me to spend the whole time with my kids because I would have that attack and I leave them and I go out to treat myself to go back to class again. So it was not a thing that I could do it in front of my children. It was difficult.
Wow. So tell us, how did you hear about God's Heart TV? And tell us about your encounter with Jesus Christ.
When I was scrolling on Facebook and on the channels of the prayers, I found the brother Chris channel, and I started to look at it and see and listen. I was listening to the testimonies. People were testifying, powerful testimony that I had. And I have realized that, no, this is the channel that I should go on. Because I was scrolling and I found that there is a prayer line that I should fill in the forms. And I wrote about the asthma that it has been with me for so many years. And I had the other sickness that I mentioned. According to that, I was invited. I was invited on my email, and that I get into it, and I appreciated that. I'm invited to go into a prayer line of interactive prayer. Before I joined the interactive prayer, because I heard how people were testifying, I didn't know how they got it to be testified. I found it so amazing to me. Before the interactive prayer, it was 2 days before I went into the prayer line, and I vomited. I was confused because it was early in the morning when I vomited. I vomited a white foam at the measurement of a cup, and I was so surprised. Why? And I've prayed for, which means I'm already healed. The testimony has already come because I'm vomiting the foam that it was causing all the sickness of tightness of chest and all this. Really, I appreciated that, and I saw that I didn't know. If I would have known, I could have taken it and sent it, but I was confused. Where does this white stuff come from my chest, and how did it come? But I've realized that it was through the prayer of interactive prayer before I went on it, which means the team of God's Heart TV has already prayed for me, which it was wonderful. I don't know how I got healed because I was not already in the interactive prayer with Brother Chris. I only know that I fill in the form for prayer request. But I tell you the truth, I vomited foam that it shows me that Brother Chris was with me and he prayed for me so that I will testify. Here I am right now. I am testifying the goodness of God through Brother Chris. Hey, right now I'm feeling the feeling that I've never have when I was still young. I'm feeling very different. I'm a new person right now. I never feel like this. I never felt like this. All my entire life, I never feel this happiness and free. My body is renewed. My body is renewed. I feel no pain. I feel no chest pains. I feel nothing, no sinus. Even if I feel the cold, it's raining, it's windy, I feel nothing. I feel nothing. Really, I'm so glad. I'm so happy. My life has changed. And when I enter this God's TV channel, I had myself saying this. I'm not going to leave this channel until I got healed, because this was my bus stop. In 2 days' time, I was prayed and I was healed, and I'm healed. At my age, I was crying, seeing that how I suffered for a long time.
Wow, Madame, this indeed shows that God's time is the best after 60 years of asthma and sinusitis. Tell us, when was that time that you reached out to God's Heart TV and received your miracle? When was that?
This year in July, it was around July, August, I go into a prayer request again, and I fill in the interactive line praying.
Wow, to God be the glory. Madame, can you take a deep breath in and out and show us how you can breathe now that Jesus has set you free?
Yes, I can breathe freely.
Oh, we can see our mother is breathing freely for the glory of God. And Madame, can you stand up and exercise your body? Show us little exercise now that you have been set free.
Yes, I will stand up and I can do whatever I can do, because I couldn't do like this. I couldn't raise up. I couldn't do like this. My chest couldn't allow me to do like this. And I would raise up my hands. I couldn't do like this. And I couldn't do. It was tough. It was tough. It was tight. I couldn't do like this.
And how are you feeling in your chest as you're moving now?
I feel nothing. No, nothing nothing that I feel right now.
And tell us about the difference now that you've been set free. Tell us, how is it to clean your house? How is it to look after your grandchildren? What's the difference that you've seen now that Jesus has set you free?
I see a big difference, because I can clean. I can pick up things that I was not able to pick them up. Things that are difficult for me to do. I couldn't do my washing. I couldn't do my floor. I couldn't carry anything that is heavy with my hands. I would really, I was so disturbed in my house to do my housework. I can carry my little angel, my little daughter, the last one. I can carry her. I can put her on my back. Things that I could not do for a long time, and now I can do my cleaning. I'm free. I don't need to take any medication anymore forever and ever. My advice to the viewers all over the world, I would say, please don't be lazy. Don't waste time. Don't ask anybody. Don't go to anybody and ask where you can get help. I'm telling you that God's help people of God with healing and deliverance. Go and get healing in the church. Go to the nearest church which is preaching Jesus. You'll get healed. God's time is the best, and God is good for us, and God will heal you.